Earlier this morning, New York State Court Judge Juan Merchan denied Donald Trump's motion to dismiss the 34-count felony indictment being prosecuted by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office for Donald Trump's falsification of New York business records in order to conceal damaging information of unlawful activity from American voters before and after the 2016 election. This is commonly referred to as the hush money case. Judge Juan Merchan also stated that trial will commence come hell or high water on March 25th. This is the date where it had previously been set. Judge Juan Merchan said that he is not moving that date. There will be jury selection and trial will commence forthwith. Donald Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche, tried to complain and say, this is election interference. This is unfair, Judge Juan Merchan. And Judge Merchan controlled his courtroom quite powerfully and would tell Todd Blanche to sit down and be quiet. Donald Trump was in the courtroom throughout the day. His lawyer, Todd Blanche, tried every trick, every tactic to try to delay this case, even trying to threaten a en masse omnibus venue change motion, which Judge Juan Merchan basically just laughed off and was like, what in the world are you talking about? And Donald Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche, tried to come up with every excuse, tried to say, well, we expect the Florida Southern District case before Judge Eileen Cannon. That's scheduled for May 20th, 2024. We think that's going to go. And then we also think that the United States Supreme Court is going to rule soon on the Washington, D.C. federal criminal case. So we think that's going to interfere with this state. And so we think there's this whole big mess taking place, and we're really, really busy, Judge Juan Merchan, and we have to file all of these motions in these different cases. And then Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg said, Judge, this is what Donald Trump and his lawyers do. They make a bunch of excuses. They try to claim there are all these other cases out there and pit the cases against each other. So ultimately, Judge Juan Merchan, you don't have to rule, and then there's a delay. So don't buy what they are selling. This is the typical Trump tactic right here. And Judge Juan Merchan was not buying what the snake oil salesman on the Trump side was selling. Judge Juan Merchan said, nope, we are going to trial March 25th, 2024. Your motions to dismiss are denied. Let's start talking about the pretrial motions in limine, which need to be filed. Let's start talking about the jury questionnaires. Let's start talking about what the trial dates are going to look like. Court's going to start at 9:30 a.m. and at 4:30. Let's go through the specifics. This case is starting. This case is happening. Just to remind you, this relates to the April 4th, 2023 34-count felony indictment brought by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. It's often referred to as the hush money payment case, where Donald Trump hid the hush money payments to porn star Stormy Daniels while his wife had just given birth, while Melania had given birth to their son Barron. And Donald Trump basically, took the money, tried to hide it as legal fees to Michael Cohen, but it was ultimately paid to Stormy Daniels. That's what the case is about, concealing and having fraudulent business records here. Let's just go through what went down in the day's proceeding. Judge Juan Merchan, very, very quickly in the morning, denied Donald Trump's omnibus motion to dismiss. Trump filed a motion to dismiss on multiple grounds. The grounds that Trump tried to get the case dismissed on were pre-indictment delay, sufficiency of the charges, selective prosecution, statute of limitation, alleged grand jury secrecy violations, and some other claims that Donald Trump said should be dismissed. Here's the order by Judge Juan Merchan. He issued a written order as soon as the hearing completed and was docketed. There it is right there. You see it February 15, 2024. Order that defendant's motions, and it'll say denied, denied, denied on all of those grounds that I just discussed. Some great court reporters there today, Erica Orden, Adam Klasfeld, and you had the reporter from Inner City Press there as well. Let's just go through what went down. Donald Trump entered the courtroom wearing a red tie and navy suit, walked into the courtroom somewhat slowly, looking side to side, Erica Orden reports. He's joined by his attorneys, Todd Blanche, Susan Necklace, and Amel Bobe. Should be noted as well that Takapina had quit the legal team and had withdrew from this case. We did a previous hot take on Tacopina leaving this case. Another Trump attorney from the civil fraud case, Cliff Robert, was present in the courtroom, but he was not sitting at the defense table. Adam Klasfeld then came out with the report that Trump's motion to dismiss this case was denied. The judge got right to the point right away. Trump's motion to dismiss this 34-count indictment denied. You're going to trial. It's March 25th. Get ready for trial, Donald Trump. Toward the start of the proceedings, the parties were handed the written opinion that I just showed you right there, and then the ruling got released to the public thereafter. You can see it right there. Justice Merchan said he made it clear that March 25th was a date certain. Quote, "You don't have a trial date yet in Georgia. You don't have a trial date in Florida." And then Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's lawyer, tried to get a word in and tried to, stand up and speak over Judge Juan Merchan. And Juan Merchan, I think, was clearly kind of learning the lessons from Judge Lewis Kaplan in federal court. And Judge Juan Merchan said, "Be quiet, sit down, let me finish what I am saying," taking control of his courtroom. Todd Blanche then, let's go to Erica Orden's reporting here. Todd Blanche then said, "This is complete election interference, Judge, to force Donald Trump to stand trial starting March 25th. Then Judge Merchan snapped back at him again and said, "Stop interrupting me. Do you understand, Mr. Blanche? Stop interrupting me." The judge said, "At this point, I can inform you all that we are headed to jury selection. We are headed to jury selection on March 25th. And then Trump lawyer Todd Blanche said, "This is a great injustice." Judge Merchan said, "In substance, defendants' motions to dismiss have been denied."
Typical children's vitamins are basically just candy in disguise. They're filled with 2 teaspoons of sugar, unhealthy chemicals, and other gummy junk growing kids should never eat. That's why Hiya was created, the pediatrician-approved superpowered chewable vitamin. While most children's vitamins are filled with 5 grams of sugar and can contribute to a variety of health issues, Hiya is made with 0 sugar and 0 gummy junk. Yet it tastes great and it's perfect for picky eaters. Hiya fills in most of the common gaps in modern children's diets to provide the full body nourishment our kids need with a yummy taste that they love. Now, formulated with the help of nutritional experts, Hiya is pressed with a blend of 12 organic fruits and veggies, then supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, B12, C, zinc, folate, and many others to help support immunity, energy, brain function, mood, concentration, teeth, bones, and more. It's non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, allergy-free, gelatin-free, nut-free, and everything else you can imagine. Hiya is designed for kids of all ages and sent straight to your door, so parents, you have one less thing to worry about. Now, as you know, I'm about to be a father, and I'm on the lookout for the best possible vitamins for my child to take. I'm so happy I've come across Hiya Health. The ingredients are amazing, and I don't have to worry about sugar or gummy junk because Hiya Health is made without that stuff, and it still tastes great. We've worked out a special deal with Hiya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. Now, to claim this deal, you must go to hiyahealth.com/Meidas. Now, this deal, it's not available on other websites. Go to hiyahealth.com/Meidas and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults.
To which Todd Blanche tried to say, "We shouldn't go in March. There is media saturation in this city. The Attorney General trial, the E. Jean Carroll trial with its salacious and false charges." This is what Trump's lawyer is saying. "The plaintiff went on a media blitz there." And Judge Juan Merchan says, "How does any of this, Mr. Blanche, relate to this trial?" And then Todd Blanche said, "Same type of evidence, same jury pool." And Judge Juan Merchan said, "What is the solution that you and criminal defendant Trump propose? What are you proposing that I do?" And Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's lawyer, responds, Let time go by. Just let time go by, Judge. And Judge Merchan says, what? What are you asking me to do? Todd Blanche says, let's just come back in March. Let's let time go by and come back later, and then we'll see where we are. Judge Juan Merchan goes, so let me get this straight. You think media saturation is going to be over by then? Is that the point that you are making? Then Todd Blanche said, Donald Trump has been indicted in 3 other cases, Judge. There are thousands of pages of discovery. We are faced with a compressed and expedited schedules. You have Judge Tanya Chutkan in the Washington, D.C. federal criminal case. There's briefs that are going to be due to the D.C. Court of Appeals. And now there's briefing before the United States Supreme Court. The New York Attorney General case, we had no idea it was going to be as long as it was, referring to the New York Attorney General's civil fraud case. There's word there'll be a decision tomorrow. Then Donald Trump's going to have to appeal the New York Attorney General civil fraud case. We wanted to come before you today, but Judge, this is now an impossible situation that we are faced with. Until the week before last, Judge Chutkan's case was still on the docket. Then Judge Juan Merchan says, and what? And how does that relate to anything that I am dealing with right now? We had a trial date. In this case, being prosecuted by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office by Alvin Bragg, March 25th. That's the date of the trial. Todd Blanche says, but, Judge Merchan says, do not cut me off. When you asked me last week if we could be excused from today's proceedings, when you asked me if Trump could be excused, I said no, because my intention is to move this case along and proceed to trial. Then Donald Trump's lawyer said, but the trial in D.C. will very likely go in June or July as well. You say we don't know, and I very much agree with that. After March 1, we will have clarity. If the Supreme Court grants a stay, that trial can be pushed later in the year. We just need to see what's happening, Judge. We need to see what's happening. And Judge Juan Merchan said, look, there are multiple parts. We don't have control over all of these parts. And then Todd Blanche stood up again, and he said, and then Judge Juan Merchan said, Mr. Blanche, have a seat. Have a seat. And then Todd Blanche tried to make arguments. Look, there's one witness in this case that said he had a conversation with Donald Trump about these records. It's Michael Cohen. Cohen perjured himself across the street. There is an order to show cause in the Southern District for Mr. Cohen coming up with false cases. And then Alvin Bragg said, this Manhattan District Attorney said, look, the remedy for media saturation is you proceed quickly to jury selection for the court to be able to ensure a fair jury. They can cross-examine Michael Cohen if they want to cross-examine Michael Cohen. And then Judge Juan Merchan says, I get it. Last thing on this topic, to convene earlier would have been a waste of time. In hindsight, Judge Juan Merchan says, I'm glad I took the position that I did, keeping this case on trial for March 25th, because now the D.C. case is not happening in March. So things are moving in a streamlined fashion. Donald Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche, said, this is completely inappropriate. There is confusion. This is inappropriate. And then Judge Juan Merchan said, please have a seat. Judge Juan Merchan said, this is not the first time I'm hearing this. I've addressed this. Right now, we're going to have jury selection March 25th. Let's go over issues still pending. Motion, now they go over the pretrial motions. Motions eliminate are due February 22nd. Replies February 29th. The defense deadline on advice of counsel, if they're going to try to blame that this is an advice of counsel defense, is March 7th. Anything else pending? Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg says, that's it, Judge. Thank you. Todd Blanche says, I would ask on the motions eliminate if they be due February 29th. I feel I've been beating a dead horse. Todd Blanche says, we are writing motions in Florida. And then Judge Merchan's like, who's we? And Todd Blanche says, I'm involved in that. And then ultimately, the court's like, we're keeping the deadlines. Just stop with it. We're keeping the deadlines. And then they went over possible jury selection questions and questionnaires. And there was, one of the issues that got a lot of discussion is asking the jury which media they watch and which types of podcasts they watch and what type of YouTube channels they watch and what type of news programming that they watch. That's one of the questions the jury's going to have. This was particularly, I think egregious on what I thought was by Trump's lawyers here. One of the questions that Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg wants to ask the prospective jury pool is, do you believe the election was stolen? Because it goes to the fact that a jury would not follow the law if they believed, the juror would not follow the law if they believed the election was stolen. That question was allowed in the E. Jean Carroll case. So, that's the type of question that Alvin Bragg should be allowed here. Trump's lawyer said 50% of this country believes this is what Trump's lawyer argues. 50% of the country believes the election was stolen. This trial is not going to resolve that, so that we shouldn't ask them if they think it's stolen, because 50%, one, that's false, and two, how egregious to try to use media manipulation of the population to encourage people to have just completely lawless views. That's so kind of MAGA right there. One of the other things that was pointed out by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg when they were talking about the time of the case is that Donald Trump is not agreeing to stipulate to his own social media posts the authenticity, so that there would have to be a full day where Alvin Bragg lays a foundation to bring in this as evidence, because Trump's trying to act like his own posts were not authentic. It just goes to show you a lot right there, but also how Trump's own posts are going to be used against him at this trial. So there you have it, folks, the full summary of what went down. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 3 million subscribers, and this trial will start March 25th. It's great news, and Donald Trump's motion to dismiss denied. Have a great day.
Hey, Midas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.